Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Jane's Fleet Command as we continue on with the reference material. So today we'll be starting, or rather we'll be doing, the United States aircraft carriers, starting with the Kitty Hawk. Kitty Hawk CV, publication Jane's Fighting Ships, section Aircraft Carriers, country United States of America. Title Kitty Hawk and John F. Kennedy classes. Specifications, displacement 81,123 tons full load CV-63, 81,773 tons full load CV-64, and 80,941 tons full load CV-67. Length 1,062.5 feet CV-63, 1,072.5 feet CV-64, 1,052 feet CV-67. Beam 130 feet, draught 37.4 feet, speed 32 knots, range 4,000 nautical miles at 30 knots, 12,000 nautical miles at 20 knots. Complement 2,930, of which 155 are officers. Air crew includes 2,480, of which 20 are officers. And flag staff includes 70, of which 25 are officers. Main machinery, 8 Foster Wheeler boilers, and 4 Westinghouse turbines powering 4 shafts. Armament and electronics, missiles, SAM, 3 GMLS Mark 29 octuple launchers firing the NATO Sea Sparrow missile with semi-active radar homing to 8 nautical miles at Mach 2.5. Guns, 3 or 4 20mm Vulcan phalanx 6-barreled Mark 15 guns firing at 3,000 rounds per minute or 4,500 rounds per minute in the Block 1 to 1.5 kilometers. Countermeasures, decoys, 4 SRBOC 6-barreled fixed Mark 36 launchers firing IR flares and chaff 2.2 nautical miles. SSTDS, Surface Ship Torpedo Defense System, SLQ-36 Nixie Phase 1, ESM and ECM SLQ-32V4 Combined Radar Warning, Jammer, and Deception System. Radars, Air Search, ITT SPS-48E, 3D Air Search Radar operating in the E and F band to a range of 220 nautical miles. Excuse me. SPS-49V5 operating in the C and D bands to a range of 250 nautical miles, and the Mark 23 TAS operating in the D band. Surface Search SPS-67 operating in the G band. CCA SPN-41, SPN-43A, and 2 SPN-46s operating in the J, K, E, and F bands. Navigation SPN-64V9 Furuno 900 operating in the I band. Fire Control 6 Mark 95s operating in the I and J band for the Sea Sparrow spam. The Sea Sparrow missiles. Second, URN-25 sonars fitted for SQS-23 on CVs 66 and 67. Fixed-wing aircraft, 50 TAC Air Wing includes 20 F-14 Tomcats, 36 FA-18 Hornets, 4 EA-6B Prowlers, 4 E-2C Hawkeyes, 8 S-3AB Vikings. For helicopters, it also includes 4 SH-60F and 2 HH-60H Seahawks, who are active, the Kitty Hawk and the Constellation. Here we can see a picture of one underway. And here is the 3D model. They actually soldiered on quite a ways. But yeah, eventually their time came. No one wants, at least no one in the U.S. wants conventionally powered aircraft carriers anymore. So I want to say the Kitty Hawk was the last, being forward deployed to Japan, but which is a little weird since the I believe the Kennedy was the most advanced version of the class. It had some improvements over the rest of the class. So you think that would have been the last, but oh well. Enterprise CVN, publication Jane's Fighting Ships, section Aircraft Carriers, country United States of America, title Enterprise Class CVN. Specifications, displacement 93,970 tons full load, length 1,123 feet, beam 133 feet, draught 39 feet, speed 33 knots. Complement 3,215, of which 171 are officers, 2,480 air crew, of which 358 are officers. Flag 70, of which 25 are officers. Main machinery, nuclear 8 Westinghouse pressurized water reactor model A2W, 4 Westinghouse turbines producing 280,000 horsepower, 209 megawatts. 4 emergency diesels producing 10,720 horsepower, 8 megawatts powering 4 shafts. Armament and electronics, missiles, SAM, 3 Raytheon GMLS Mark 29 octuple launchers firing the NATO Sea Sparrow missile with semi-active radar homing to 8 nautical miles at Mach 2.5. Guns, 3 20mm Vulcan Phalanx 6-barreled Mark 15 guns firing at 3,000 rounds per minute or 4,500 rounds per minute in the Block 1 to 1.5 kilometers. Countermeasures, decoys, 4 SRBOC 6-barreled fixed Mark 36 launchers firing IR flares and chaff at 2.2 nautical miles. SSTDS, Surface Ship Torpedo Defense System, SLQ-36 Nixie. ESM and ECM SLQ-32B4 Intercept Jammer and Deception System. Radars, Air Search, SPS-48E, 3D radar operating in the E and F band to a range of 220 nautical miles. SPS-49B5 operating in the C and D bands to a range of 250 nautical miles. Mark 23 TAS operating in the D band. Surface Search, SPS-67 operating in the G band. CCA, SPN-41, SPN-43A, and 2 SPN-46s operating in the J, K, E, and F bands. Navigation, SPS-64B9 Furuno 900 operating in the I and J bands. Fire Control, 6 Mark 95s operating in the I and J bands for the NATO Sea Sparrow missiles. TACAN, URN-25 fixed-wing aircraft. 50 tactical aircraft air wing includes, or rather the 50 TAC air wing includes 20 F-14 Tomcats, 36 FA-18 Hornets, 4 EA-6B Prowlers, 4 E-2C Hawkeyes, 8 S-3A or S-3B Vikings, and 4 SH-60F helicopters and 2 HH-60H Seahawk helicopters. One is active, the Enterprise, although it has since been decommissioned. Here is a picture of one. Surprised they couldn't get color pictures. You'd think they could for probably the platforms people would want to play with most in-game. And note the blockier island compared to all the other U.S. aircraft carriers. That's because originally it was along with the Long Beach, was testing a basically an early prototype for like a passive electronically scanned array. I can't remember if it was passive or active. I assume passive, but the testing ended up not going well, and the system was removed from both ships. But that's why it's got that exceptionally blocky superstructure, or not superstructure, island. And finally for today, we have the Nimitz CVN, Publication Jane's Fighting Ships, Section Aircraft Carrier CVN, Country United States of America, titled Nimitz Class CVN, Specifications, Displacement, 91,487 tons full load, for CVN 68 through 70, 96,386 tons full load CVN 71, and 102,000 tons full load CVN 72 and 73, and they've only gotten heavier since then. Length 1,040 feet, beam 134 feet, draught 37 feet, flight deck 1,092 feet, 779.8 feet angled by 252 feet, speed 30 plus knots, complement 3,184, which 203 are officers, 2,800 air crew, of which 366 are officers, flag 70, of which 25 are officers, main machinery, nuclear 2 pressurized water reactors, model A4W or A1G, 4 turbines producing 260,000 horsepower, 194 megawatts, 4 emergency diesels producing 10,720 horsepower, 8 megawatts powering 4 shafts. Armament electronics, missiles, SAM-3 GMLS Mark 29 octuple launchers firing the NATO Sea Sparrow missile with semi-active radar homing to 8 nautical miles at Mach 2.5. Guns, 4 20mm Vulcan Phalanx 6-barreled Mark 15s firing 3,000 rounds per minute to 1.5 kilometers, or 4,500 rounds per minute for the Block 1. Torpedoes, 6 324mm Mark 32 and 2 triple tubes used for Mark 46 Mod 7 anti-wake homing torpedo countermeasures when available. I actually didn't know that. Countermeasures, decoys, 4 SRBOC 6-barreled fixed Mark 36 launchers firing IR flares and chaff to 4 kilometers or 2.2 nautical miles. SSTDS torpedo defense system, or Surface Ship Torpedo Defense System, SLQ-36 Nixie Phase 1, ESM and ECM, SLQ-32V4 Intercept and Jammers. Radars, Air Search, SPS-48E, 3D Air Search radar operating in the E and F bands to a range of 220 nautical miles. SPS-49B5 operating in the C and D bands to a range of 250 nautical miles. Surface Search, SPS-67B operating in the G band. For CCA, SPN-41, 2 SPN-42 on CVN 68 through 70 and SPN-43B. SPN-44, 2 SPN-46s on CVN 71 through 73 operating in the J, K, E, and F bands. Navigation, SPS-64B9, Furuno 900, operating in the INJ bands. Fire control, 6 Mark 95s, operating in the INJ bands for the NATO Sea Sparrow missiles. Fixed-wing aircraft, 20 F-14 Tomcats, 36 FA-18 Hornets, 4 EA-6B Prowlers, 4 E-2C Hawkeyes, 6 S-3A and B Vikings, helicopters, 4 SH-60F, and 2 HH-60H Seahawks. 9 are active. The Nimitz, Dwight D. Eisenhower, Carl Vinson, Theodore Roosevelt, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, John C. Stennis, Harry S. Truman, and Ronald Reagan. And they have been joined by a 10th carrier since this game came out, the George H.W. Bush. Here we can see a picture of one. I love the very distinct F-14 at the rear there. Oh, they didn't even get color photos for these, huh? But here we can see the 3D model. And to preserve my throat, since I am indeed sick and kind of sticking with my original plan, we will go over the surface combatants next time. So that will be the Ticonderogas through the Wasp class. So thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for next time, and stay safe out there, and we'll see you then.